What I do now is show you how to play Ripple, which is done by the Grateful Dead. And I'm not going to do it perfectly. I'm not going to try to get it exactly like it's on the album, but just give you the basics. One of the reasons this song is a nice transition song is if you know some basic chords but you're getting a little bored of strumming, what we're going to do on this song is throw in some little licks or little leads between some of the chords. It's basically a folk song, and it's easy to play. The chords are easy to play, so you can just strum it if you want. But if you want to make it a little more interesting and challenge yourself, then you do the little licks in between the chords. So I'm going to focus the camera so you can see my guitar. You're going to want to see the left hand mostly. Now, the chords are real. Let's see if we can get this in here. The chords are simple. Basically, you've got a G, C, D. Those are the three chords used in the verse. And then in the chorus, there's an A minor, and then some of the other chords that are already in the verse, like the G, the C, and the D. The only other chord in there is an A, which you can play like this or like this. I usually just play with my first finger. It's pretty typical for a rock kind of guitar player. And then D. So there's really no complicated chords. And you could just strum it like this. G to a C. Stays on the C. And then back to the G. And then just keep going. But we'll, before getting into the licks, one thing to notice is this song is done in what is called a swing rhythm. And that's where the downbeat lasts a little longer than the upbeat. So instead of where the downbeat and the upbeat are the same, it's so there's that delay before you come on the upbeat. And a lot of rhythm playing, one of the things that makes it a little more interesting is hitting different upbeats and not just downbeats. So obviously it's pretty boring. So it's so I'm doing down, down, up, up, down. So it's those upbeats that make it. Okay. So that's just some of the intro stuff. Now the song, there's a little the first lick, you're basically going to lead into the G. What you do is you put your, I use my first finger on the 5th string, which is the A string, and oops. So I'm going from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, and then to the open 4th string, which is the D. So the strings I count from the high E, which is the thin one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the low E is 6. So if I say the 4th string, I mean the 4th string from the high E. Okay? If you know the names of the strings, then I'll give you the name too. So you have, and then you go down to the G. And notice that the rhythm of those licks, it's again that swing feel. So it's down, up, down, up, up, down. So we're hitting those last two on the upbeat. And if you just keep your hand moving all the time, if I move my right hand over, if you just kind of always keep your hand moving, then you just have to, on some of the times when it goes down, you don't hit the string, and sometimes you do. That's how you skip it on some of the downbeats and hit it on some of the upbeats. So what you do is that little riff, that just 3-note riff, and into the G chord. So after we do the little riff, we're going to get set up for a G. Now you can play the G like this with your 3rd finger on the low E, or like this with your 2nd finger on the low E. It doesn't really matter that much. However, some of the leads might be a little easier if you do it this way. So it's so after you hit that low G, then you can strum your chord down, up, and I'm doing a hammer on here. So the hammer-on is optional. That's where you just hold the open A string or the 5th string and then hammer on your 2nd finger. Or if you're doing the G this way, you hammer on your 1st finger. And that just gives it a little extra interest. And then back to the G. So, and then what you do, you play the open 3rd string, which is the G string, and then the open 2nd string, or the B string, and then you put your 2nd finger on this string, and then the open B again, so, and then the open B again. So you could hold your G while you're doing that. Because you could basically, you know, well, I lift up my 2nd finger to use it to do this. Or you can just play the notes. And then we're going to go into a C, and we're going to hit the open G part of the C first. So it's, and then what I'm doing after hitting the G is I'm hitting the 4th string, where my 2nd finger is, the B string, and then back to the G. So, and then it's, so there's that hammer on, and then off again on the 3rd string, and then a hammer on here on the 4th string. So, sorry, one more time. Then back to the G. Now I'm going to the G chord, but I hit the D, or the 4th string, because that's the melody really. Or you could just hit the G chord, but the note underneath is D. So that is the, that's probably enough to work on in this session. Let's just play that one time through and then maybe have another video for more of the song. So I played the rest of the chords there. The only other chord I played after that was the D. And you'll also notice that sometimes I do it a little bit differently. It doesn't really matter if you're having fun. It's good practice to listen to the record or look on YouTube for somebody who does it exactly right. But it's you know, also fun just to make up your own little variation. So when things like that, play around with the hammer-ons in different ways. But the chords basically, you do that G to C, and you can walk your bass up and down by moving your 3rd finger down to the 6th string if you want. There's that C again. I screwed up the leads, but and then it goes G to D to sorry, G to D, back to C, and back to G, and we'll stop there for now.